Good morning, guys. Welcome to the show. We are here on the Institutional Engagement and Accountability Tour, the IXO Show, guys. We are so happy to have you. I'm your host, Don Bird. I cannot wait to get started. We are here for you guys. What are we talking about today? Institutions say they care about equity. They say they care about access. They say they care about diversity. Well, here's the question. Are you funding it? Are you hiring from the communities you claim to serve? Are you opening real doors to capital and careers? That is the question, guys, because all the talk about being for these things, we really need to follow the money. Always follow the money and see where people's true values lie. Is it in your budget? So I built this accountability triad so that we can keep track and hold these institutions accountable, but also engage with them, guys. Listen, start off with the Bridge to Life Foundation. We're on the ground, right? We're meeting, we're doing the work. My book, Revaluing America, right? This is the conversation. This is the framework and the accountability tour that we're doing right here. We are in the public square asking questions. We're going to be asking for meetings. We're asking for funding. We're asking for collaboration. We're asking for engagement. And we're going to make sure we get real answers, guys. And that's what this show is about. Because if you're not showing up for communities, how are people ever supposed to move from struggle to access, from paycheck to capital? We have to understand that, guys. I am not here to beg for meetings. I am here because institutions need me. I've sat in the rooms. I know what's missing, and I've built the model to fix it. I am the bridge between the community they want credibility with and the execution they just can't figure out. Now, some of these institutions may not get it right away, but the ones who do will see that I'm the future of institutional stewardship, guys. So let's get started, guys, in the show. We got the Bridge to Life Foundation as we break down the accountability triad, guys. The Bridge to Life Foundation is a nonprofit organization, guys. We're open for business. We do work helping people understand that there is a bridge to the life that they want. Literacy, investment, futures, education, and employment is where we focus. All right? We are helping people based on the lives and experiences that we've already had, that we've already led. And we want to share that with other people. And we've already been doing these things, and we want to organize it. We want to structure it. We're community facing, guys. We have direct programs helping people with financial literacy, educational literacy, economic literacy, all right? Political literacy, workforce development, re-entry programs, rehabilitation programs, drug and alcohol abuse rehabilitation programs, financial education, guys. We are not just sitting here throwing stones at institutions. We are building solutions, guys. We are doing the work at the ground level. All right? And we're going to ask the institutions, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Are you with us? Or are you giving access to people who are not the people in your community? We're going to be talking about revaluing America. All right? We are right here revaluing this great land, and this great land was meant to be a living, thoughtful organism. All right, we need to reframe the imbalance, though, between labor and capital. We need to reframe that imbalance, because capital is protected and execution is neglected and labor is undervalued, and the book and the narrative become our framework, and we gain the high ground ultimately to help you understand that that is true. All the value ascends to the capital. All the proximity to the capital gets rewarded, but the labor is undervalued. The execution of the institution's mission and strategic plan is neglected because of capital requirements, guys. All right. And lastly, that triad we're talking about: institutional engagement, the accountability tour, the pressure, the visibility, guys. That's what we are asking for: engagement. That's all we are asking for is engagement. We are asking to work with you. We are asking to help you. We are asking you to help you. Let us help you. We are going to help you execute, guys. All right. This is a public facing. We're going to be doing calls, meetings, video documentation, and we're going to force institutions to respond or be seen as ducking accountability and ducking the very things that they say they want to do, like work with people who have been underprivileged, work with people to increase diversity, equity, and inclusion and belonging, work with people that are in the communities that they take up space in. All right. That's what we're talking about. Okay. But this institutional tour is so necessary. And this is where accountability meets execution. And we're going to be doing real-time engagement with institutions, universities, nonprofit corporations, companies, municipalities. All right. For 20 years, I worked inside the endowment and foundation investment business. I was an outsourced chief investment officer. I sat in the rooms, in those offices. Across the tables. I know what gets said and I know what doesn't. Today, we're calling those institutions directly because they don't just manage money, they set the tone for labor, for capital, and for community in America. The question is, are they ready to have a real conversation? All right. Institutions love to make statements. They say they care about equity. They say they care about diversity, about community. But here's the real question. Are they funding it? Are they hiring from the communities they claim to serve? Are they creating real access to capital, real access to the institution that is tax exempt, that is funded, that is very wealthy, and will exist into perpetuity if they have it their way? That's what I want. That's why I built the framework. That's what the accountability triad is about. I want you to understand it, guys. And this is not long and far off, guys. In 2010, the Outsourced Chief Investment Officer model was still brand new. Most institutions didn't understand it, and many resisted it. But guess what? I was on the road traveling the country all over. Houston, Texas, Austin, Texas, Lexington, Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, Tulsa, Oklahoma, talking about why it worked and why it should be implemented. At the time, it felt hard. People weren't willing to change. And I remember thinking, will this ever take hold? But less than 10 years later, guys, the model became the industry standard. And every institution now recognizes that outsourcing capital stewardship is normal, expected, and even necessary. That's how I feel now with the IXO model. It's new. It feels hard. Institutions don't quite know what to make of it yet. But just like the OCIO solved the gap in capital management, the IXO solves the gap in execution management. It's the next natural evolution. So when I say IXO is the future, I don't say that lightly. I've lived this cycle before, guys. I've seen a model go from resisted to required. I know where this is going, and IXO is going to be the next industry standard. Let me tell you, all right? We are going to be talking about this so much, and I can't wait until we get to really understand what we have right here on our hands. And I want you to see that Everyone has ideas, but guess what? Without capital, ideas die. And we want to talk about why everyday Americans, especially entrepreneurs, can't get any capital, right? We have banks and foundations, endowments, and how they gatekeep. The system wasn't built for you, and that's why the IXO exists. And it exists to bridge this gap, guys. So when I think about the access gap, power equals access. Institutions operate as if they're community anchors, but most community members can't even reach them. We're going to be calling these people directly, guys. Stay with me. Education isn't just a nice to have, guys. It's part of the bridge. If you don't know what an endowment is, you wouldn't ask why Villanova has $1 billion and why adjunct faculty make poverty wages. The IXO model is the answer, guys. We're going to be building so much and getting in touch with these institutions. We're going to be the bridge between the institution and the community, between the intention and the execution, between capital, between labor, and between the narrative and between the reality that the institutions would like you to believe. We have to understand the wealth spring that resides in American institutions. In the previous show, guys, we went over the scaffolding effect of wealth. Now, if you watched the previous show, that's great. But if you didn't, we're talking about how wealth is distributed in our world, from the government to the institution, to the family, to the community. And how important institutions are in our world. And how much we don't know about them, and how inaccessible they can be when we have no knowledge of them and we have no engagement with them. So that's what the IXO model is, guys. And in short order, we're going to be right here on this air making direct calls to these organizations. We're going to hold them accountable, but we're going to engage with them, but we want to hold them accountable. Power equals access, guys. We have to understand that the real divide isn't just money. It is access. Who do you know? And who will take your call? That's where power lives. You know, most people don't know what an endowment is. Most people don't know the difference between a foundation, private foundation, a university endowment, and it's so much hidden wealth sitting inside institutions right in your own neighborhood, guys. We failed ourselves by not understanding the system. We can't keep blaming lack of education and opportunity and resources, guys. We have the ability to start our own organizations that benefit our own people. That's what we're doing with the Bridge to Life Foundation. But that's what we're doing with the entire Bird brand. But we have to be thinking about things from every perspective. And we're doing ourselves a disservice by leaving money on the table because we don't know how to organize ourselves in proper organizational structure and management. And obviously, when you have that, you need financial management, which we have to think about. How are we going to get money from an institution or the government if we don't organize ourselves in a structure that can receive that money, right? They're not just going to give the money to Don Bird because the community said he's a good guy. They're going to give it to an organization that has bylaws and a board and a process and policies and procedures that they can account for and document. right? I think we have to understand it in that way. I'm trying to bring this what this show is about, right? I mean, I'm not doing a show called the Institutional Engagement Accountability Tour for my health. You know, it's a show about what we need to be thinking about. It's a show to market my services to institutions, to people who might need them. But guys, engage. That's the point, right? We have the Bridge to Life Foundation set up, ready to go. It's a nonprofit organization. I'd love for you to donate to it. Okay, the donations. See, this is where we also are very short-sighted. We're afraid to support each other and donate to organizations. It's going to come right back to you. Can you imagine donating to an organization and then we have a cookout for you that with the same money that you donated to the organization? Guys, we forgot how to, we got so funny, you know, slick on the streets that we forgot how to, you know, win legally. You literally can start an organization, donate to it, have parties, and say it's a community organization, which it is. But we so busy not thinking like that. And now you get the tax deduction. Other people can give money to you to help. If they like your community organization, other people can give money to it so that you can then spend other people's money having fun for your community. That's how we have to understand things and see it. And that's what we're doing, the Bridge to Life Foundation. That's what we have to understand. If we don't know what these things are, we don't have access to them, guys. And that's what I'm bringing to the table is community roots, institutional fluency. And I can translate so that people can see the invisible wealth that shapes their lives, guys. Most people don't really know what an institution really even is, all right? And the IXO model exists to make institutions accountable for access. Not just opening doors for insiders, but ensuring communities have clear lines into leadership and decision making. All right, that's what we're talking about, guys. That is what we are doing. The real question is, if these institutions claim to serve the community, why is it so hard for the community to even reach them? And that is the access gap. That's what we're talking about on the IXO Show, guys. And we are going to continue talking about it, guys. Check the links for the description, or check the description for the links. Check out the Bridge to Life Foundation, guys. Consider donating